Our Christmas Eve guessing game got too real, and my dad showed a photo nobody expected. What's the funniest game that turned serious fast? Every Christmas Eve, my family plays a game we call Secret Suspicions. We sit around the dining table, and everyone writes one thing they truly think another person is hiding. Then we fold the papers, toss them in a bowl, and read them out loud. It started 3 years ago as a harmless roast. Someone wrote that Uncle Jerry secretly watches cooking shows. Mom got called out for still sleeping with her childhood blanket. We laughed so hard we cried, and nothing changed after. This year, though, the air felt tight before we even started. For months, my dad had been acting strange. He'd take calls late at night, step outside, and come back with his phone clutched in his hand. He bought new shirts, kept checking the mirror, and guarded his phone like it held his whole life. My mom kept making little comments like, "Some people always think there's a better deal out there," and then she'd smile too wide. My teenage sister Mia said, "No more silly ones. Write what you actually suspect." 10 of us were there, pens in hand, and for once, nobody joked. I wrote mine fast, folded it, and dropped it in the bowl with sweaty fingers. My grandma, who runs our family, volunteered to read the slips out loud. She's 84, and she doesn't care if anyone gets mad. She put on her glasses, pulled out the first paper, and read it like she was announcing the weather. I think Dad's been seeing his secretary for over a year. The whole room froze. My mom's wine glass stopped halfway to her mouth. My dad's face went red, and his jaw locked. He said, "That's ridiculous." Grandma didn't even look up. She opened the second slip. "I think Mom's been taking money from Dad's business account to gamble online." Dad snapped his head toward Mom. Mom blinked fast and said, "What? No!" She grabbed her phone like she could erase proof right there at the table. Grandma cleared her throat. Third slip. "I think my brother is selling stuff out of his college dorm." My 19-year-old brother Kyle stared at the table, and suddenly his new phone and designer sneakers made sense. He muttered, "It's not like that," but he wouldn't meet anyone's eyes. Fourth slip. "I think my sister has been making herself throw up after meals." Mia's eyes got huge. Then she shoved her chair back and ran to the bathroom. The door slammed and we heard her crying through it. I half stood up to follow, but Mom grabbed my wrist hard, like she needed me to stay. Grandma picked up the fifth slip, and her hands actually shook. "I don't think Grandpa died naturally last summer." Grandma dropped the paper like it burned her. She stared at my aunt with pure fear in her eyes, and my aunt went pale. "Mom, please," my aunt whispered, but Grandma just stared. Sixth slip. "I think my cousin has been stealing pills from Grandma's medicine cabinet." My cousin started talking too fast about needing to leave early, but his voice kept cracking. Seventh slip. "I think my daughter is pregnant and planning to give the baby up for adoption." My 17-year-old niece burst into tears and nodded. Her mom reached for her, but she pulled away. Eighth slip. "I think Uncle Jerry has been taking money from the church where he volunteers." Uncle Jerry went stiff and stared at the Christmas tree like it might save him. 3 slips were still in Grandma's lap. The tree lights blinked softly, and it felt wrong, like the room was trying to look happy while we were falling apart. My dad pushed his chair back and stood up. He didn't wait for Grandma to read another one. He pulled out his phone, his hand shaking, and said, "Before you read the rest, I need to show you something." He turned the screen toward us. It was a photo of a woman at a beach with 2 little kids, all 3 smiling at the camera. My dad swallowed hard. "This is Rebecca," he said, "and these are my other kids, Emma and James. They're 6 and 8. I've been supporting them for 3 years." For a second, nobody even breathed. Then my mom screamed, grabbed her wine glass, and threw it at the wall. It shattered, and red wine sprayed across our framed Christmas photos. Mia came out of the bathroom with her face wet, took one look at Dad's phone, and blurted, "Fine, I'm gay, and I've been living with my girlfriend for 2 years." Uncle Jerry shot up and said, "The church money is real. I took about 40,000. Kyle reached into his pocket, pulled out a small bag of pills, and dropped it on the table. My aunt started crying. My niece was still shaking, and my mom kept yelling my dad's name. Grandma stared at all of us. Then she leaned forward and said, very calm, "Your grandfather had late-stage dementia. He was scared and in pain, and I helped him go peacefully. I'm not sorry." The room went dead quiet. All I could hear was the tiny buzz of the tree lights and someone's chair scraping the floor. Now my mom is saying I ruined Christmas with that game. Was I wrong?